Yes, marijuana. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Marijuana is referred to as Mary Jane, pot, weed, or tea.
Man, Acapulco Gold, man. I was smoking tight stick.
We're smoking reefer. The weirdest thing smoking on the internet. The Podheads Web Show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4:20 on a Sunday night in January, and you're in the Cypher with the Podheads. I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Frank the Tank, and as always, I'm hanging with my very best buds, JB Perez.
Yeah, what's up? It's JB Perez from the Podheads Web Show. We're back live once again. This episode is going to be a great time. I'm happy to be here, boys. Let's do this.
Yes, sir, and making C money.
What's up, everybody? This is Making C Money at Making C Money on Instagram and Twitter. Here in the Cypher, live with my boys, the Podheads, at the Podheads Web Show. It's going to be a good one for you. We got a lot of good shit for you guys here for tonight. Frank the Tank, back to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, none of this is possible without our producer extraordinaire, K-Strad.
What's happening, guys? Thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. There's a lot of cool stuff coming in store for you guys, so stay tuned. You can follow me at KStratB on Instagram, but always remember, keep your tacos safe. All right, back to you, Frank.
Keep them tacos safe.
I'm hungry.
Keep them safe. Guys, but before we get into this, usually we go around and we talk about what we've been up to. So what have you guys been up to since the last recording?
Yeah, well, it's been 2 weeks now, right? So we've been 2 weeks, so we have some time. So first of all, I want to thank all our viewers. We got a lot of viewers and a lot more watch time ever since we went live. And we knew that was going to happen. So a big shout out to all our fans. Thank you very much. On a personal note, it's always been the 8 to 5. If you're a Podhead fan, you're a fan of JB, you know that I do volunteer work at the high school. And in the past couple weeks, my high school went to another competition. They did pretty well, actually. They actually had a power outage, too, in the middle of it. So it was like a trippy-ass... Imagine playing a football game and then the lights being cut off. That's essentially what it was. They were drilling and marching and doing all this thing, and then the lights cut off. So it was a crazy thing. Yeah, never seen anything like that. So shout out to them. Again, they shouldn't be watching because they got, they're in high school. They shouldn't be watching this show.
18 and up, 21 and up, whatever the legal shit is.
But my point is that, we got some kids, and we're going to talk about that on the show earlier, about kids and back to school. But shout out to my kids in my school, man. They're good people out there.
Shit. Yeah, JB, I didn't even know you did that.
You're paying attention on the show. He's on the show.
High school. What's interesting is I've been I don't even honestly remember if we did resolutions or if we even mentioned.
A little bit we did.
But mine was to like last year was to make memories with all the people I haven't seen for years and years in my hometown and all that. So this one was to try to not be so quick to like fly off the handle, So and just be a lot healthier in terms of emotions and try to manage emotions a lot better. Like I said, not fly off the handle, things like that. So like that in terms of trying to do like meditation and incorporating a lot of CBD in my life. Like I have some coffee with Bailey's and CBD drops in it. Pretty awesome, yeah. It actually has been helping me sleep. As you guys have definitely known, I've been having trouble sleeping for years. I've been doing these drops now 2 a day for 6 days now, and my sleep has drastically improved.
There you go. Check another box right there. Yeah, check another box.
I want to touch on that. It's great to hear that you are, taking a moment to think about your mental health and do something about it. Too many people don't. Bro, I stopped carrying a gun for like 5 years because I felt like, with my temper, I was either going to kill somebody or get myself killed. Right. So, I for real, I stopped carrying a pistol for a while because of that.
Well,
Now I'm
you
a lot
had
more cooler.
self-awareness.
Yeah.
You had self-awareness. See, money's getting self-awareness. That should be a 2019 mantra for everybody. Self-awareness all the way around, man. Look at yourself in the mirror and, decide who you want to be and what you want to do and get to it, man. So, yeah.
Cool.
What
cool.
about Strand? What you been up to?
Man, well, it's been kind of exciting for me. I mean, funny thing, I was working for a company a while ago. I can't name, but they decided they didn't want a lot of people, so they let go a lot of people. And I was like, oh well, cool, I got my severance check, whatever. I'll find myself another thing. Next thing you know, like a couple days ago, I get a call. They're like, hey, you know how they didn't want us? Well, now they want us back. So
you
now
got your job back.
I got my old job back, which was actually a career where I was trying to set out to be, and it's been working great. I mean, been working on some new videos and stuff like that I'm gonna throw on my stream. You can check me out at Twitch at Tank25 and TANK number 2 and then AFIV. You'll see it here in my stream here a little bit for my top 5, which is actually one of my first segments. I'm so excited. It's gonna be fun, and I hope you guys enjoy what we got for you, Goo. But
Red Dead video games are dangerous, bro. And I'm glad that you're doing a segment about it because play at your own risk. They can take your life over. Red Dead Redemption is just owning me and everything I'm about right now. But I wanted to talk to you guys about what I've been up to. And it hasn't been much, but I've been watching a lot more. I've been trying to get out more into the world. 2019 for me is about communicating with loved ones and just getting out there. For me, getting on my grind and my hustle like last year about trying to get this show going and build a good team here, I kind of just tuned out from social media. I didn't get on Facebook. I didn't fuck with all the trivial things. I didn't watch TV. I was just essentially hustling. But that also, the downside of that is I didn't know what the hell was going on in the world in pop culture or anything like that. So I've been watching a lot more TV. And, bro, I tell you what, I'm The Masked Singer. If you haven't seen it, get on that shit. They ain't paying me to say that shit. They don't
The
need
Masked Singer.
Bro, it's crack. Bro.
I've seen the commercials for it. It doesn't look interesting at all.
No, you don't look interesting.
It's like, what is
You
that?
don't
bro?
look into
Dude, okay, so check this out. It's real celebrities. It could be a football player. It could be a famous singer, an actor, a fucking magician. Anybody. And they dress them in these very extravagant costumes. And when I say extravagant, we're talking like Disney level, Mardi Gras, and in New Orleans level costumes. You know what I mean? So, matter of fact, put one in the air for the costume designers because they're gorgeous, all of them. And so anyway, you have these people who they put on these masks and they do the show. It starts with 12. They've already gotten rid of the first 2. Every week they sing and they compete and the people in the audience vote. Well, the person who gets voted off, they have to reveal themselves. And so I don't want to give any spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, but so far we had an NFL star and someone near and dear to my heart in the 420 community has been on the show as well. Really? So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's an awesome show. Definitely. That's definitely.
Maybe. I don't know. It reminds me. He said it reminds me of Disney. It sounds like mascots singing back and forth. So I don't see. I get the premise, but I don't see the lore.
Smoke a fatty. Watch that shit. It's awesome, bro.
Disney Kingdom Hearts comes out soon.
But I swear to God, Gladys Knight is on that show, bro. I'm not sure, but I believe Gladys Knight is dressed as a bumblebee on the fucking Masked Singer, and she's killing it.
Let's see already. Blindside that one after it comes out.
Yeah. So it's a pretty cool show. Check it out. I also wanted to let everybody know the AAF. For all the NFL games, all the playoffs are over. If you're a fan of the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Saints, or the Rams, you're happy because they're all in the playoffs as of about an hour ago. So congratulations to JB, his bitch ass Tom Brady once again is back into the fucking AFC.
Anyway,
the AAF is coming, guys. So once football is over, do not fret. There's going to be more professional football. It's called the AAF, American Alliance of Football, something like that.
We talked about it on the show before. We did a segment and talked about it. So it's finally starting here in the next month or two. So it finally has arrived. what are the 8 teams are, and Orlando's got one of them, so that's why Frank
Orlando Apollos, baby.
super excited about it.
Bandwagon all day, baby. Get me an orange shirt next time. I'm gonna have an Apollo shirt, baby.
I love
Check them out. Google that shit. We don't have any graphics for this one, but just Google it. It's pretty cool. One thing I wanted to tell you that was interesting about that is the footballs and the helmets and pads are gonna have chips in them. The whole league is designed to be interactive. It's free. You can watch it from the app, and if you're watching it from the app, you're able to kind of get in on like all of the extras, behind the scenes shit. But these chips will tell you how hard a football was thrown, caught. It will tell you how hard the impact is on the pad. So I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, different dimension. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, more interactive. So besides that, guys, look, we gotta go real quick. It's gonna be a great show, so stay tuned. We're gonna, of course, talk R. Kelly's nasty ass. We're gonna talk the weekend weed as usual, and we're gonna talk some celebrity doppelgangers. So stay tuned. It's gonna be an awesome one. You're in the cycle with the Podheads. Woo!
Let's get it.
The Podheads Web Show presents Pioneers in Pot.
All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Podheads. Follow us on all social media, guys.
Jeez.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at the Podheads Web Show. The one and only, guys. Accept no imitations. There's a couple of Podheads out there. Podheads Web Show is where it's at, man. Holler at us, communicate with us, follow, share, like, all that good stuff. Guys, before we get things started, we have a tradition. So let's do it. Shall we do this? As we always.
We shall, Frank the Tank. We shall.
This is probably my favorite part of the day.
Listen, I have to go first. Well, you guys do your thing. I have to go first. I have some terrible freaking news here. And well, this guy's
Here's that mic there.
I know, bro.
It's like a construction network.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, with a flamethrower, bro.
With a not a flamethrower.
Yeah. Anyways, I have some bad news. If you're a fan of the Podheads, and you know this is the tradition of every show, we do this as always. So I always smoke out of Donnie Danko. My little water pipe had the Playboy bunny on it. We all know it, blue, beautiful. It died.
Oh my goodness.
It died. It broke. It shattered.
Oh, no.
Bro, Donnie Danko is gone forever, bro.
Who's the clumsy son of a bitch that murdered Donnie Danko?
I have to raise my hand. I was trying to clean Donnie Danko. I was giving him a bath, trying to get him ready for a nice boy, and just and then Donnie Danko, I'm smoking out of my backup piece. This one's for you, little buddy, Donnie Danko.
And if you didn't hear that, Donnie Danko is because he had a little Playboy bunny on a little blue bubbler, and we just thought it would be cool. We were naming our things. I got a bong with Bob Marley on it. I call it Bong Marley, and he's got Donnie Danko because of the rabbit. If you don't know if you don't get the reference, you need to get some fucking culture, man. Watch Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a movie, Donnie Darko. Anyway, Guys, what are we doing? I see K-Strat is over there fucking dabbing hard over here.
Oh yeah.
Got a
Cam Newton.
setup too. You're right there, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm back in.
You don't sound back in, brother.
I'm okay.
I remember the things he brought. We've dabbed some of the stuff that he.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dabbing is beautiful.
Dabbing monkey all day, bro.
It is delicious. That's no problem. It is a little bit of a process. You see him that he's got a flamethrower. He's confident that he's got a huge rig. So it's a process, but it's much, very well worth it. What are you doing, C-Money?
You know what I do. I'm always doing.
You're always the man.
Come the time when I'm ready, I would love to do, I think, flour, because I'm starting to miss the smoke of it. I see that with Frank the Tank, and I get super jealous because I want to feel that. You know what I mean? I want to. So, but I got some lime OG here. So whatever the fuck strain that is out there, and it honestly, it kind of tastes like the rind of a lime. Like it has that. It's weird. Yeah.
The peel of the lime.
Yeah. So very cool, but it's very discreet, man. You can do this shit anywhere. Any a movie theater, a restaurant, a fucking
Anyway.
You are the James Bond of marijuana.
Operation.
You should get a gold.
Okay, so.
Frank, what about you, Frank the Tank? I see you with the lightsabers.
Yeah, just, bring it old school, I just wanted to kind of little throwback. Sometimes you just want to roll up a J, So I rolled up a J. What are you going to say? Shout out to all my J smokers out there, man. It takes skill to roll a J. But anyway, guys, it's time for my favorite segment. I always like fucking giving you a little intro, the drum roll, to my man, my fucking Walter Cronkite over here. Walter Chronic Christ.
Chronic.
The Week in Weed.
Yeah, thank you, Frank the Tank, for that wonderful intro. I'm so glad it came right after we talked up, because now I'm ready to give you the Week in Weed. This is a segment where I find the most important or the most interesting news in the world of marijuana. We know marijuana is becoming legal all across the world. So now there are real news behind it, and this is what the Week in Weed is. So let's get right to it. All right, the first Week in Weed, while I'm looking at my notes, here's your headline, gentlemen, and all our fans. Oregon might become the first state to legally export marijuana. Let you think about that for a second. And here's the news. Here's the backstory. Oregon is a legal marijuana state. They grow marijuana no problem, but part of their legality was this grow and track type of process. So they grow marijuana, and the feds know, or their government know, how many plants of marijuana they grow, right? Whatever the numbers may be. They also know how much marijuana they sell. Long story short, there's some missing data. They grow 3 times more marijuana than they smoke by these numbers. So there is an excess of marijuana in Oregon. I mean, someone's getting paid off that excess right now. It could be black market, who knows? But that's the point why it's news, because Oregon sees this excess, and it's like, you know what? We need to do something about it. So they have people in their government, and I want to make sure I get the name right, because Senator Floyd Prozansky, a Democrat out of Oregon, he's trying to push a bill where Oregon becomes the first state to legally export to other legal marijuana state. California comes into my mind because in California, while it is legal, they have a shortage of marijuana. They have more smokers than they do growers. And over there, there's a movie out on Netflix, by the way, Murder Mountain. They talk about that, but they're getting taxed out the ass. So if they get their bud from Oregon, then maybe that really alleviates some of that tax burden on the people and other more benefits. So that's your first headline, guys. Oregon might become the first state to legally export their marijuana to other legal marijuana states. What do you guys think?
Pretty freaking dope, man. It just shows that it's a progressive thing. It was suppressed. Cannabis was suppressed for how many decades, and now it's finally starting to make its way. Even here in New Jersey, we're getting further and further to recreation. I'm crossing my fingers.
This year, I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but that's awesome for Oregon.
I want to interlude, and I hate to do this right live, but I'm getting some feedback from the listeners, from the viewers. I appreciate those of you who are checking us out, but it looks like we're lagging. So I don't know if there's anything you could do about that, K-Strat, if you could check on that. But that's what some of the viewers are saying. I just pulled it up. It looks like, we come in a little bit, and then we stop, and we get the little wheel going, and then it pulls back up again. So might have to check out.
It is the first time, though, we are doing it with 3 Skype screens. So it is a little bit of a challenge to try to get, full video and audio, from 3 different Skypes. But, it's still kind of, I mean, it looks good on my end. I really hope that, it might be just the laggy thing because as we're streaming it, they're viewing it, and maybe it's just not,
Well, I'll tell you what, to all our fans, thank you again. Just like Fran said, thank you for all who are out there supporting us. If it turns out that our video feed is lag, we'll turn around and edit it because we do have the raw video here. And we're always trying to give you guys a good-ass product. I mean, that's why we're doing this. So thank you, y'all, for supporting us, and we'll get it right.
Good. That's a good point. JB. We will turn around and edit this, so if you're watching this, we do appreciate it. So either way. But you know what? That goes into the challenge. If you didn't know that, it's just to give you a little idea about what we do here is we're all over the place. We're in different states, all of us. We're guys that, we're good buds. We started this shit all together. Life and work brought us to different places, and so now the challenges of keeping this friendship and this show going is doing this shit from different states. So K-Strat, you're doing a hell of a job, bro. We'll get it right, guys. Either way. Sir, please continue.
All right. Well, thank you again to all our fans out there for sticking with us. Let's move on with the Weed and Week. The second headline, and here it is. New York. There's a New York bill that would allow medical marijuana to be administered on school properties, very specifically smoking marijuana. All right, let that sink in for a little bit. Let your wheels thinking. Okay, right now, in New York, it's gonna become one of the very. C-Money said New Jersey, New York is gonna legalize marijuana recreationally very, very soon. But right now, medical marijuana is legal in New York. But under their laws, medical marijuana cannot be administered by smoking. And we've talked about that we thought that was kind of a BS move by a lot of the governments that medical marijuana might be legal, but you can't smoke it, then it's not legal. Well, that's the issue over there, that some, caretakers, that is how they administer medical marijuana. They literally give them a white paper, a blunt, or not a blunt, but the proper way to administer a smoking medical marijuana to their patients that work. This bill would allow not only the smoking of marijuana on school premises, because there is a law, that the caretakers can give these children medical marijuana on site. That's the law by the Democrats in New York, and they're trying to push this. That's the news, guys. I wanted to, especially Frank the Tank, you being out of New York, this would be a first. Your state would lead the country if this passes. Tell me what you think.
I gotta be honest with you. Bro. I don't know. As much as I am a proponent for medical marijuana and just the legalization of it recreationally, I don't think I feel very comfortable with allowing marijuana in any form on school property, on school premises, for the fact that, how are you going to regulate this thing? The smoking of it. You know what I mean?
Well, I need to set, make sure I set the premise. This would be, for example, a student who has a number of diseases or health problems that marijuana does help. Epilepsy comes to my mind. Seizures come to my mind. So this child in school learning and has an episode of this kind, their caretaker can administer a blunt, whether it's a puff, whether it's the whole thing, I have no idea. But that's the scene. It's not like, here, Johnny, smoke because you're sick. No, the kid is having an emergency, per se, or needs this. you can do it on property on a bus or any activity. That's what the bill is proposing.
So in the case that a child who has a caretaker with them happens to have an emergency, they're allowed to then
The language of the bill says administer cannabis to certified patients. Whatever umbrella that covers, that's what the bill is. And I assume an emergency, I assume any other areas that we all know medical marijuana helps with will fall under this. Again, it's a bill. It's called Tanch's Law. It's to basically allow designated caretakers. So it'll be very regulated, right? You're a caretaker. This is the patient. This is the amount of medical marijuana you can. Again, we're talking about smoking, but it's not just smoking. People can get their medical marijuana other ways. It's just there's a law in New York that says smoking cannot be a certified medical use. So there's like two things to this bill, and it's very important. Again, it's a bill. We don't know what's going to happen, but if it is, it sets a crazy precedent. So
yeah. So I honestly would have to see specific cases and how this would be beneficial,
sure.
Shit like that. But so right now, unless you show me like specific, like in what specific case would this happen where a kid would be on a bus and then has like a fucking attack and then just has to spark up on the bus around all these other kids who maybe parents don't feel comfortable with them being exposed to that. So for right now, if I had to vote on that bill, I'm sorry. This is further proof that I'm not a liberal. I lean right on certain things. I would have to vote against that.
I think a lot of parents would feel the same way about it.
And just revise this. Maybe there's a different maybe do it through vaping. I don't know. Maybe there's a different way to administer that we can work with.
Cool.
There's also been like situations where there's inhalers too that you can have CBD
and on the show before as well. They have inhalers. Absolutely. So you see, there are various ways to provide medical marijuana. This is just they're trying to fight two things with one stone per se. Smoking should be allowed under the medical marijuana umbrella. That's really what this battle is about. Okay. So anyway, let me take it back because I think we're running a little long. The last Week in Weed news comes out of my favorite state, Massachusetts. And here's the headline, boys. Instagram and Facebook are deleting some of the dispensaries' accounts here in Massachusetts. Yep. Legal marijuana stores now, and in legal marijuana dispensaries, not only medical, but legal recreational, have social media accounts. And one called Cultivate has had both of their accounts on Facebook and Instagram shut down. And I already know you guys can already guess why they did it. Facebook and Instagram says under the law we do not allow any illegal selling whatever. So that's not news. But the reason I think this is news is because I think it's a hypocrisy. I can find other dozens of more illegal things, more nasty things, or more inappropriate things on Instagram and Facebook that they don't seem to care about. But because in Massachusetts, the guys paid their dues, done it legally, and they're trying to sell a product, a business, they get their Instagram page shut down and Facebook page. Like, how is that fair? What do you guys think?
I mean, it's not, but what's going to happen to them, man? Nothing's going to happen to them. It even happens to us, bro. It happens to us with ads, and when we're trying to promote an event like GCW, an event that's to promote something. There's no selling of anything of any kind. We get denied because they say that exact reason. It's all part of not following their agenda.
That's exactly what it is.
And that's what I wrote in the response to, why you want to protest, why the ad was denied. I gave him like a whole paragraph thing. Of course, it doesn't do anything. It's probably for a bot, but it just made me feel better. But you're right, JB. But
nothing at all. And this reminds me, we talked about the guns on YouTube, right? We thought that was bullshit too because we had kids, some parent not being able to control their kids. Now everybody who has rifle gun videos on YouTube can't, show their videos because of some you know, whatever bullshit, right? You understand my premise? Like this feels like that. It seems like money is involved, or it's not an agenda based.
Maybe there's some politician. You know, I could imagine some senator, somebody pulling in this guy Zuckerberg after his Senate, hearings and saying, "Listen, guy, you can play ball with us, or we can make your life fucking miserable for the rest of it." And he's a young man, so. I mean, come on, what's it going to do for him to fucking take out, to really hurt the cannabis community? He's a fucking billionaire. He doesn't need this crowd. So fuck him. I mean, it's like what it is.
Man to me, bro.
I mean, shit. It's only a matter of time before we're shut down, and we'll figure out a way to fucking.
We'll be on Pornhub, bro. That's where all the gun guys went. We'll go right to Pornhub. Wherever we need to be, we will be. And that's it, go. That's a perfect time to end the Weekend Weed. Thank you so much for being here. I will get you the next Weekend Weed next time, y'all. Woo!
Shit, man. Good shit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Always, always, always my favorite place to go. Forget CNN, fuck Fox, all of these, all these other major networks. Right here is where you need to get your news at the Podheads. Listen, I want to talk R. Kelly, but listen, let's take a break real quick. We are running a little bit long. We are having some little issues. So let's take a break real quick. And when we come back, guys, everybody's talking about it. And you definitely want to hear what we got to say about R. Kelly and the shit going on with him. Stay tuned. Follow us on all social media, the Podheads Web Show. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Hell. That's some shit that you don't do. I'ma stay down for my real niggas. That's some shit that you don't do. Fake nigga lie to a real nigga. That's some shit that you don't do. I'ma stay down for my real niggas. I'ma stay down for my smoking, blowing, keep that green up in my Dutch. Rapping, pimping, such and such. 2 gold chains, I double Dutch. Jump on, get tangled up. Beating, battered, mangled up. Chain reaction to chain snatchings. Y'all niggas can't hang with us. Change it up. What you pitching? Saying what? Nigga, why you bitching? Me and Carlo in that 4-door with like 4 whores and they all twisted. What we doing ain't no different than those gifted and pro pimping. My bro told me in 04 how you hoes getting it so wicked. What you looking in for? These hoes couldn't care less unless it's about they booking info. Gotta keep it pimping kinfolk. It's hard saying church out here when these bitches sinful. I ain't that sentimental. Did not tell a bitch a breath is bad as fundamentals. It won't be accidental. Action friend ho. I don't take it back like rentals. I be on point like pencils and stay grounded like 10 toes. I don't get boxed like bentos, cause that'll be detrimental. Let your next kin know I got it. Lifestyles of a pimp, nigga, and that's word to my wasted fam. But it's that gang South POP, nothing else above it. Hell yeah, I'm frontin', but you know you love it. Like
pimpin' in my nature, kush rolled in the papers, blown in the vapors. Either way, I chief away. She don't need to stay, so back home I'ma take her. Every time I get on the track, yo bitch wanna get on her back. Y'all sitting in VIP, but she just wanna sit on my lap. I'm getting it back like I lost it on purpose. You need a leader, your bosses are worthless. I've been running sounds through the underground, now you see me all on the surface. I'm just doing what I got to do, and you been showing me what not to do, man. I've been puffing on tropical, feeling so psychological. Smoke like I got cataracts in the backseat of my Cadillac. As a matter of fact, when I rap attack, rappers catch the battle axe. You don't know me, don't say my name. In control, don't play my game. Most niggas ain't got the drive, but it's cool, I made my lane. If you gon' take a shot at me, make sure you do it properly. Don't make no excuses, saying you twisted like my broccoli. You can take your chances till I'm landing on your property, and you won't get no passes. I won't go, this ain't Monopoly. You probably thinking that you be live with your niggas. Had too much to drink, you getting high with your niggas, but you only live life when you beside all your niggas. Bunch of dead men walking, you could die with your niggas. Ride. I had to lose it just to get it right. You know I'm always on a mission. Ride. And all these niggas in they feelings. Ride. And now these songs who play me, calling me, they baby tryna ride. Holla if you been the realest and you found a ride. Hit the paper, sip the Henny if you down to ride. Smoking, blowing, keep that green up in my Dutch. Smoking.
When I was 14.
When I met him, I was 17 years old.
I wanted to be a singer.
I wanted to be a dancer.
We thought we were going to be
A new docu-series on Lifetime details shocking allegations that R&B singer R. Kelly physically and sexually abused women and teenagers. Each of the 6 episodes starts off saying the artist denies all claims relating to...
All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Podheads, guys. Man, you already know. If you haven't watched the documentary, you have to. All right, we're talking R. Kelly. Look, here's the thing. We all have our opinions about the stories and what we've heard, okay? And I had my opinion before, and you really can't have an opinion on it until you watch the documentary. You hear, basically from the horse's mouth, right? You hear everything from the victims themselves because you've heard the stories, and most people are headline readers. So, you know what I'm saying? You read the headlines and you're like, I don't believe it. R. Kelly, he's just a freak. He's no fucking pedophile. But you gotta hear what's going on in these documentaries. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it. I hit you guys up when this came out. Big Ace. Matter of fact, shout out to Big Ace. He kind of keeps me in the loop on a lot of shit going on. And he hit me up and was like, yo, have you seen this R. Kelly fucking Lifetime shit? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And he says they're on Lifetime talking, airing them out, talking about all the shit that went down. And I was like, oh my God. So, of course I had to check it out. It's 6 episodes. So whether you got Lifetime Network on demand or you got Hulu, it's on Hulu or something like Showbox, it's on all that shit. You have to go there. It's 6 episodes. Have you guys seen it?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's important to say that this is a documentary. And R. Kelly does not make an appearance on this documentary. This is Surviving R. Kelly. That's the title of this Lifetime. It's 6 hours, so 6 one-hour episodes. I think everybody needs to watch it. But it's an interview with the people who were around him, his victim, his family, his artists, his friends. I mean, these are his people telling you what this man did. And if you, if you haven't watched it, we're gonna ruin it for you because this guy's a pedophile, capital P, guys. A pedophile. But you know what? It doesn't surprise me. It absolutely doesn't surprise me. You know what? I'll take it from there because I'm sure everybody's got an opinion. But it doesn't surprise me because, I said it before the show. Chappelle's show made fun of it 10 years ago. I mean, this has been public. If you followed R&B and black music, this has been kind of public record before that he pees on
the 90s.
Since the 90s.
Well, that he's at least fucked with little kids.
Little 14-years, 15-years. Those are underage little girls. Pedophile with a capital P. There were videos him urinating on a female. Apparently that was supposed to be an underage person. Who knows? But we have video of that. Look, he got charged. For child pornography. He was charged 21 counts. Over 8 years, he got him dismissed. We don't hear about that. So my point is, since the 90s, this has been this man. But it takes now the Me Too movement, right? It takes the Me Too movement to trigger, oh my God, look at R. Kelly. R. Kelly's been a pedophile since the beginning, guys.
Yeah, bro. If you haven't seen the documentary, like I said, it's on Lifetime. It follows... It has all of his victims, bro. Both his brothers, his ex-wife, former employees, mentees, journalists, psychologists, all kinds of people, including celebrities like what was her name? Of course, now I'm losing it.
Starts with an A, right?
Of course, he talks about Aaliyah, but obviously she's not here to be in the documentary. So, but John Legend is in the documentary. Yep. A few famous other singers. I can't remember the name of the singer, but he did a song with her a long time ago. And
speaking about song, he has also a 19-minute song, and we actually have it here. I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you guys so you can kind of hear it out what he's saying.
Let it in the background. Put it in the background while we're talking about this.
So,
yeah.
Cool.
So basically, look, these people got together, a couple of movements, because of the Me Too movement and because allegations came out a few years ago. We talked about this on earlier episodes.
Sex cult, right?
He had a sex cult. And that's kind of what really broke this thing out. Like what really got the news out to the masses that there's something crazy going on with R. Kelly. And so what happened was he's apparently got this mansion in Chicago, I think, where he's keeping all these underage or barely legal girls captive, and they're against their will. They can't come and go as they please, and it came out because the parents of these victims were reaching out to all sorts of media outlets looking for their kids, and there's been talk of what do they call it? Brainwashing. There's been talk of rape. There's been talk of physical abuse, mental abuse, starvation, all kinds of fucked up things. And of course, we're not doing it any justice. We're not going to take the time to go over every single bit and piece in person, but watch the documentary. It's pretty crazy. You know, and you've heard, if you're at least 25 to probably and up, you've heard of what's been going on within recent years. What kind of attitudes? That's the thing. We all had different attitudes about this. We talked about the sex call, and I believe that my whole attitude about it, and I'm sorry for this, was, you know what? He's just a freak. He's just a freak. And you know what? People, if those girls are freaks too and they're into it, fuck it. More power to them all. And now I kind of feel like a scumbag.
Yeah, that you sound like a scumbag too. Because they were 14, 15, and 16 years old. I mean, what were you doing?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that back then. Of course, nobody knew that. You thought that it was all legal because you give it. I think it's a natural thing when you're a fan of somebody to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. It's hard to see your idols in that negative light, so you just tend to say, "Oh man, come on, nah. Why? R. Kelly's rich. He's famous. He can have any woman he wants. Why would he rape and hold capture a fucking 16-year-old girl? Come on. It's probably just family is sour as fuck because he brainwashed their legal fucking woman into being a sex slave."
That mentality is everybody until this point. I'm telling you, this has been public knowledge. R. Kelly is a quote-unquote, you said, a freak. He pees on girls. You know what I mean? I mean, he sings about it, right? Age ain't nothing but a number.
As Aaliyah's first hit single.
Okay, and Aaliyah was 15 when all that happened. I mean, come on. I love Aaliyah. I miss Aaliyah. But let me just say it one more time. This is not a surprise. And I said a Me Too movement earlier, and that is there. But let's not forget that this was, all the research that I did. This was like a black person thing. Like these young black females all across the country are seemingly being attacked, brutalized, kidnapped, missing, and no one seems to care. The cops don't seem to care. They had 21 counts of child pornography on him 10, 15 years ago, and he got out scot-free. It doesn't seem like...
They made the argument. So many people on the documentary made the argument that if it was little white girls that he was brainwashing,
that's what I wanted to say.
he would have been in jail a long time ago.
Because it's true.
Well, that's crazy. Tim Money, what you got?
My 2 cents on it is, like with the Dave Chappelle thing, if you think about that, yeah, you're always going to laugh because it's fucking hilarious, right? But when you actually think about what he's making fun of, yeah, it's very twisted, it's really fucked up, and if you're average, it just, for me, man, it always traces back to, it just goes to show you when you got money and fame, you can really get away with almost anything in this world. I mean, if it was your average person doing what he did, dude, he'd be put away forever.
The American system is a cash business.
I can't help but giggle when I think about that fucking Dave Chappelle shit because that was hilarious. As fucked up as it is now, and of course, I took it that way before. When I saw his documentary, dude, I was like, my God, I just
the crazy
if I had a
thing,
couple of beers, I would probably cry.
Yeah, the crazy thing about this is that like a lot of these women that came to him, they were illusionized with the thought of, hey, I'm gonna be famous, like I'm with R. Kelly, like it's gonna be big. And then at first, he was just the best sweetheart, always kind of, I guess, being that R&B like lovey singer, and then all of a sudden he would just turn and it would put a fear on them, and then they would just be like, well, maybe I gotta do everything he says so that way he can go back to the way he was with me. And
the psychology behind it.
Just because you have that fame, it kind of gives you that power to do whatever you want. And again, it comes down to being, if it was a white figure, it would have been
But let me say this: his career's over. R. Kelly's out there. I heard he's in a club right now singing like he don't give a fuck. He needs to give a fuck because his career's over. He could go to jail for a long time. I mean, criminal investigation has been started because of this Lifetime and all the backlash behind it. So
one thing on my back. Go ahead, Simon. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's crazy, isn't it? Amazing how like now they figured out how to reach out to people to start giving a fuck about things, and it's to go through like documentaries and Netflix and things like that. It's like if the news don't work.
Get it out. Yeah.
If this was on the news, I never would have heard about this shit.
And it's been on. And I want to give you guys a timeline of everything that's going on with this shit. But what I wanted to say was the whole psychology of it. K-Strat touched on the psychology behind it. Many things that they talked about from psychologists were that he exhibited behavior of many men who abuse women, and the way they started out by kind of luring them in with, razzle dazzle. Here, let's go to these nice restaurants. Here's some nice things, and then he kind of institutes control. He pays for everything, right? Has them picked up, takes them places, makes them wear certain things for him. Just kind of like very methodical in how he had this control. But the psychology of it, me and Big Ace and I were talking about this a few days ago, was I think the guy has an Oedipus complex, and like legit Oedipus. Like I think he could be diagnosed, bro. I mean, if you go by some of the symptoms like that we were kind of checking off, and I don't have it in front of me, but things like a very close relationship with his mother, single mom kind of situation, being abused as a child, and usually people with Oedipus complexes, almost all of them, not all of them, but almost all of them have abusive tendencies. Usually end up in relationships where they abuse the opposite sex. So it's pretty crazy. One other thing that kind of bugged me out. I want to know what you guys think about this. It doesn't seem like he really understands like how serious this whole thing is.
It hasn't clicked in his head, I guess.
He got away with it before. I feel like he thinks he might get away with it again.
Do you think that he understands that he's totally that?
I understand.
Well, hold on. I'm saying, do you think he understands that what he did was truly like fucked up, and that his ass is in trouble?
Oh yes.
Or do you think that Okay, so you think that he understands that, and that he's just like fuck the world?
Most cult leaders, right, or most people who exert their dominance on somebody know that's not the moral compass right thing to do, right? That is, he might hit. We talk about psychology, and that plays a huge part in everybody. Maybe he does think. I am not in his brain. Maybe he does think that that's how it is. I'm this man, I'm this rich, I have this power. Maybe that's what it is. That's why he's probably out right now, not giving a fuck.
We're playing the song in the background. He says it. I admit, I've been with young women. I admit, I've been with older women. How does that make me a pedophile? He talks about how his family's turned on him, how his fans have turned on him. He talks about how they try to take his freedom. He even takes a shot at the black community, talking about how we need to be raising each other up and not trying to bring each other down. I mean, I think that this guy truly believes that he's in the right. I think that he's delusional. I'm not sure he understands like how fucked up he really is.
I mean, he's either talking about psychology. I mean, he's an incredible case. I mean, he instills Stockholm syndrome in his victims, and then he just actually like physically traps them. But he could either be that attitude, in my opinion, he don't give a fuck, or he could just be in that much denial where it's not happening. Like,
I mean, you could lie to yourself to a certain point. I mean, he's there. I mean,
but it's crazy, man. Like think about it though. Like going back to Chappelle briefly, for a show as big as that to openly just joke about what he has done, and everyone's just, oh yeah, I fucking forgot about that.
What does that say about us? You know what I mean? What does that say about us?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, to our point, to our credit, we didn't know they were. I mean, we've heard it, but did we really know they were 14, 15? I mean, we didn't hear from the victims. You're hearing from the victims now, and that's the major difference. When you get a video, when you see somebody on video, when you get somebody saying this person did this to me, I mean that changes. It's not a rumor anymore, right? It's real.
Concrete, it's real.
Why is fame such a powerful aphrodisiac? I don't understand that. Like, I like Katy Perry to me, not now with the short blonde Nike shit. I hate that.
God.
Like,
I love Katy Perry.
long black hair and the blue eyes. Oh man, but like, I wouldn't really go out of my way. You know what I mean? To be like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, would you guys be so starstruck that you would fucking?
You get bonus points. Is that what you say? Like you get bonus points on the scale for having money. I mean,
Look, you're a mega star. You look good. You sing like an angel. And let me tell you, taking nothing away from him, all things aside, he still sings. Like, he hasn't lost a fucking step singing. He did an Instagram video in the club, dropping down, breaking it down at the beginning of 12 play. Or no, not 12 play, bump and grind. And I mean, still fucking. Fuck you, R. Kelly. You son of a bitch. Listen, let me give you a quick outline, guys, just to kind of keep you up to speed. August 31st, 1994. Excuse me. August 31st, 1994. R. Kelly, 27 years old, marries Aaliyah at 15. Yep. In the documentary, you'll find that he married her because he got her pregnant.
How old was he?
They had
27.
And it was all
27.
Wow.
It was all done like quick. Like, there was no like wedding gown. There was no like.
He was trying not to go to jail.
They doctored. They doctored the person. They doctored the marriage certificate to make her 18. By the way. December 21st, 2000, Chicago Sun-Times prints the first allegations of sex with minors. Okay. February 8, 2002, Chicago police reveal investigation into alleged child pornography. Okay. June 5th, 2002, so that's only a few months later, he's indicted on 21 counts of child pornography. JB, you said it earlier. May 9th, 2008. Trial begins in his case in Chicago. It took him 6 years just to bring him to trial.
I don't understand
That's the game. That's the game.
Money, that's long money right there.
But like, how did it take years after the fact of impregnating a 15-year-old that he fucks minors? But he fucked a 15-year-old. Why wasn't it right then and there that he like?
Never works out.
Yeah, bro. They weren't, you know.
So
the fucking case begins in May 2008. June 13, 2008. Kelly's acquitted on all counts, bro. Just over a month later, he's acquitted on all counts.
He had no trial. No trial.
I think it was thrown out because they ruled the way they got the evidence was unconstitutional.
Illegal, right?
So he kind of got off on a technicality on that one.
If the glove doesn't fit, you know what I mean?
Okay, treatment on that one. Must have had Johnny Cochran in his team. So July 2017, he lays low for a good while, over a decade. Busby, or maybe not lays low, but he's doing his thing. But he's behind doors. And they talk about in the documentary as well that he's being very careful to hide this shit. Anyway, BuzzFeed fucking publishes the alleged sex cult. And that's when we talked about it, guys. We talked about it, and it looked like jackass. I didn't believe him. So July 23rd, 2018, Kelly releases I Admit It. You hear it in the background. Listen to that shit. Take 19-minute song, bro. That guy's got balls. Yeah, just listen to that shit when you guys get a second and tell us what you guys think. Leave some comments. Also, January this year, Lifetime begins the series. And you all know what's happened from there. So, final thoughts? I mean, R. Kelly, what's up? Would you ever listen to another R. Kelly song again?
See,
is he going down?
My body's telling me yes.
I think he feels like since he got away from it once, he's gonna be able to get away from it again. But second time sometimes might bring down the dime.
But I think
he's going down.
Celebrities are failing to realize is that it's a different time now. You know what I mean? The people from the 80s and 90s that fucked around, it's
not like that no more, bro.
Oh, it's time, Time's up.
Time's up.
R. Kelly's done. He's gonna go to jail.
Did you guys hear I'm sorry, JB. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I was just gonna say to your point. Not only is he done, but to your point, it's a different time. If you are in the industry right now, all your dirty secrets will be out. So get used to it. You're gonna be on the internet. You're gonna be a superstar. You're gonna be a politician. From here on out, there is no such thing as privacy. If you can't deal with that, you best get out because you're gonna get the R. Kelly treatment. All your skeletons and videos are gonna come out.
Like
It's crazy.
trapitos al sol, how they say in Spanish.
Just to my last point on this is with the whole Me Too movement too is that you guys I'm sure know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is, the physicist. I think he's a cool guy. I love watching shit with him on it and everything. I don't know if you saw that he has shit that's come out now, scandals and shit that's come out now too about
everybody will be, bro.
It's crazy, man.
Everybody went to high school. Everybody went to college. You know, everybody drank beer and had sex.
And he released his statements on it. But what's my point that I wanted to say is it's crazy about having a biased or unbiased opinion because, like, mine on R. Kelly, like, again, whenever I think of R. Kelly, it's Dave Chappelle, and that'll never ever change. So there's my whole opinion on him. But with that, like, again, like, I like Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think he's a really cool intellectual dude. So, like, my thought right away was, oh no, that can't be possible. That's not true. He's a cool dude. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I can't. Now, goddamn.
No idea.
Well, now I have to fucking wait because now he shit. You know. But
one last point on it. Since this documentary is aired, his album sales have gone up, or listening at least has gone up 16% according to Spotify.
Still
it's crazy, bro. So you know, you motherfuckers that go out to the club and you motherfuckers that listen to his shit and defend him, y'all ain't shit. At least that's my opinion. Come at me with your words. Fuck it. I don't believe your shit. Especially if you're a woman and you're supporting this shit. Especially if you got daughters and you support this shit, you ain't shit. Anyway, guys, speaking of daughters, kids, and R. Kelly, it's just appropriate to take it back to school. We're gonna go straight to C Money. He's been wanting to talk to us about 2019, the new year. Kids are back to school, and he's just annoyed by it. What's up?
So now I have, alright, so class is in session, you motherfuckers.
Before I beat your ass, you little monkeys.
I love you, Jake, but you're killing us with that fucking mic. It's so loud when you do that. But, so now I have how do I say this? I'm baked, I'm sorry. A non-direct, an indirect, there you go. Yeah. An indirect relation to like school years and kids and all this. And you guys, you know, Frank the Tank has kids in school. JB will. K-Strad doesn't. I don't know. Do you? Will you? Might?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Yeah. Me and him.
Maybe.
There might be some apes out there. Now my thing is what my sister teaches in the state of New Jersey. And long story short, and I promise this is how this happened. There's no, oh, well, we haven't heard whatever side. Like, this is how it is. She's on the verge of losing her job now, even though she has tenure and all that, which kind of makes you unable to lose your job. But the board and all that worked out a way to put her on probation to do this. And it's literally because the kids that she teaches are spoiled, rotten, shit kids, and the parents are that of the kids in a sense of, you know, if the kid isn't understanding something but the whole class is, the parents blame her. There's something wrong with her because that kid's not getting it but everybody else is. So but you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And the thing is now is one of the parents is on the board of education.
It sounds very politics, bro. Yeah, it sounds very politics.
That's it. You're done. Like, there's talk about, that's like us being a judge and the fucking president is against us, you know what I mean? Like, so I just wanted your guys' opinion as well, and viewers, if they're here commenting or anybody that sees this, I want to know, like, especially if you have kids, how do you deal with this situation in terms of, like, if you had kids, like, even if you had other kids that were being little shits to your kids, how do you deal that in terms of obeying without, I mean, I'm sure Frank the Tank or you or me would just want to beat the shit out of the parents, right? But you can't. So how do you guys obey the politics of the school? Or if you were in her situation, how do you obey the politics of the school? Because she's a great teacher. But there's just a handful, and now someone who just happens to be in a position of power, that she's fucked. So how would you guys, you know, like, how do you...
I've cursed at little kids before.
Now.
I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it, but I've cursed that little kid for pushing my little kid before. Because I'm a very proactive parent. I don't. I try to do things with my kids. I try not to keep them on video games all the time. I try to teach them integrity and respect. Don't pick on people. Be kind to everybody. Treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And so I can't fucking stand when I see some little bastards fucking with my kids or bullying or anything like that. So and I know that's not exactly what you're talking about, but I have cursed out some kids. To touch on what you're saying, C-Money, is it's difficult working with kids in school. My son is finishing up middle school now, and he's going to high school. And, middle school kids are just the worst. Just the savages, terrorists. Oh, yeah. They're the worst thing.
They're only getting worse.
Yeah, bro. And so, fights and drama. And as adults, we know that not all teachers are created equal. You got some pretty awesome teachers out there who deserve to be paid.
I had some.
And some pretty shitty teachers out there. And so, and not every teacher, right, is just a bad, tutor. Some of them are just dicks for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's hard to kind of to be a parent, and you want to advocate for your kid. You want to be able to say, okay, well, look, my kid, what's the teacher doing wrong? You know what I mean? I want to defend my kid. This is where I send him to school, whatever. But look, sometimes kids need a little bit more help. You should be doing shit at home with your kids. Mm-hmm. If you're not fucking spending the time to study with your kid, if you're not going over shit and you're not making them do the work, then, shame on you, because it's not the teacher's job to really kind of teach your kid. It's they kind of get them to learn the material. Here, let me show you how it's done. Now you practice. And it's up to the parents to go home and teach them.
Reinforce that.
They practice that. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely the root of it. And the root of all of that evil is the parents not paying attention. I'm sure it is. And the crazy thing is talk about having the cards stacked against you is here you are, you're good at your job, but because that person is acting the way they are, meaning the child, and then the parents believe the child, and the parent of the child happens to be a position totally against you, and that's just talk about get the fuck out.
It is very tough. Again, it's the politics. My bad. Get excited. You know how I get. To your point, C-Money, I get the politics of it. In every industry, there is always some politics behind it. My advice to you or to her in this case is to invite that person or anybody to come and watch me teach. If there's a question about my teaching ability, I invite them to come and look at me teach. If then you think I'm a piece of shit teacher, then you are probably a piece of shit teacher. As far as the kids are concerned, if a kid is entitled and spoiled and brat, it's a direct reflection on the parents and how they were raised. Maybe the parents are entitled pieces of shit as well. It's really nurture versus nature. The kids will grow up around the environment that they're raised in. They will soak in all those negative. Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? So, the parents' education, school. I'm one of the believers that teachers should get paid more than 6 figures, every single one of them, because they're babysitters.
I everybody wants to be a teacher, man.
And they do, and that's why I put one up in the air for all of them.
Shout out to all your teachers. Sherry, shout out to Sherry, homeboy Aaron's wife, teacher, and all y'all other teachers out there, man. She calls us something.
Just shout out. I work with high school students, and they get better as they get older. But my point is, they're raising your child a third of their life for 4 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? These people have a big impact on these little kids' life. Their parents should support them, be more involved, spy on your kids. Absolutely. We joke about it on the show. Do homework with them. If you really want your children to succeed, and I know this because I say it to myself all the time with my little baby. When she's this, I gotta be on this and that and this and that. The kids will grow up with how the parents raise them, whether the teacher's good or teacher's bad.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And it's a vicious circle because the parents probably do well enough to where the kid probably doesn't have to worry too much about changing their ways to, so to get a good job and shit. Like, you can't be a little shit your first job, you're gonna get fired. It just kind of goes on and on and on. Like, it's crazy. But like a closing question for me on this, on my Professor C Money's class here is, if you guys had kids in school and the one kid did something to your kid and said it didn't happen, but that kid's parent was on the board and said, my kid did happen. Yeah. Fuck me. What are you gonna? What would you guys do? Like, you can't.
I mean, what can you do? It's like I said. Listen, my kid said it didn't happen. Yours kid. The only thing I can say is come and look at me and how I teach. I mean, what else can she say, bro?
That's crazy, right? Yeah.
It is crazy.
Dude, I'll give you a funny little story real quick about that. I had a situation a few years ago with my son. His first year in middle school, he got into it with. He's not proud of it, but a girl. What happened was some big ass girl, and he's not a very big kid, but some big ass girl was fucking with his friend, and he had kind of said something to her that she didn't like. I don't know.
Over 200 big.
She's big,
bigger than him.
She was bigger than me.
Oh wow!
Like
damn. Okay.
So anyway, apparently, the girl saw him later on in the day and started trying to fuck with him. According to his story, she started like trying to slap, while he was like slap the back of his head or something. And I don't know. He told her to get the fuck away. She kept fucking with him, and then he threw an apple slice or something, an apple or some shit at her. Anyway, this little girl, he's got good aim. He played baseball since he was 5. So she goes home. She goes to her guidance counselor crying and says, "Hey, this kid just threw an apple out of me for no reason. Hit me right in the face.
No reason, right?"
Bro, I get a call from my son. I get a call from my son's school telling me that the mother of this child wants to press charges against my son, and that if their findings are that my son hit her with the apple for no reason, that he was gonna get arrested.
Wow.
Dude, my 13-year-old son, I got my son's school calling me, telling me that they want to arrest my 13-year-old. So, I went down, I talked to my son about it, and I know him, like I said, I'm very involved. So I knew that he wouldn't just unprovoked do it. But anyway, I told the guidance counselor, the police officer, I spoke to the police officer and said, listen, if my son for no reason hit this girl and the mom wants to press charges, that's perfectly fine. But if I find that this girl provoked my son, then they're both going down. And I'll press charges too. Apparently when he got back to the mom and the kid, the truth came out. And, they both got in trouble, which I thought was fair. You know what I mean? I always tell them to try to walk away from shit like that. But that's exactly the case, bro. Kids are going to lie, man. You can't be that naive, man. Everybody loves their darling children. You just can't be that naive, man. They're not all the same. They're not all the same.
My kid's an angel.
Yeah, for now. I hear her ass screaming all over the time. Anyway, look, speaking of these kids, and actually it's got nothing to do with kids. Guys, I want to move on to this next thing I want to talk about. I got freaked out the other day. I was searching the internet, and I was looking at twins, right? I was thinking about kids. Something came up with twins.
Yes.
We've never had any twins in my family. Supposedly, we'd have some. So, I don't know. I just started Googling twins and shit like that, skipping generation, and I found a list of celebrities who have twins, but weren't twins. Like, I thought it was like celebrities that have twins. Oh, this is interesting. One twin's famous, one twin's not. No, it was celebrity doppelgangers who look exactly the same.
Who came up with that word, doppelganger?
Yo, I think it's awesome, German. Bro. Doppelganger. I think it's German. I think it might have been like Hitler or something. I know he had.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't think so. I know he had doppelgangers.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Purposely. Trick assassin, that guys. Saddam Hussein had doppelgangers too.
Yeah.
So anyway, these are celebrities who have doppelgangers who are also celebrities, and I got hooked. I must have been vague, but I got a list here. This all really started because JB. Okay, that's what it was. It wasn't the damn twin thing. JB swears to God he looks like Ice-T, and we'll show you a picture of that later. You be the judge.
He's hot actually now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get this list going. I want to show you these celebrities. I think I got like 10 or 11 of them, and then you tell me what you think about JB. Of these celebrity doppelgangers. You guys tell me what you think. Zach Braff and Dax Shepard is the first one that comes up. Zach Braff, you've seen.
They're the same dude.
They are the same.
Yeah, bro.
dude.
Dax Shepard's been in a bunch of movies. Zach Braff is from Scrubs, right? He's from Scrubs.
Yeah.
You guys see that picture? It's pretty awesome. What do you guys think? Twins?
Their noses they're definitely twins. They're definitely related.
Sure. They got to be related.
Definitely different moms or something.
Yeah. Different moms.
Big dad, different
That maybe, right? Papa was Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. All right, the next one. Logan Marshall Green and Tom Hardy. You know Tom Hardy from everything over the last 5 years.
I'm on the fence on that one.
Dude, this guy Logan Marshall Green, he was in Devil. And when I was watching this movie Devil by M. Night Shyamalan, I was like, who is that fucking Tom Hardy? That's not Tom Hardy. You know, you don't think this guy looks anything like Tom Hardy?
Yo,
I see it before I look at him. But
if they have the same cut, like as far as like the haircut and the the lining of the beard, they'll look
They have the tired eyes. It's the tired eyes. It's
good
they
point.
look like they just woke up, no matter what.
You just both baked.
Maybe that's what it is. Smoking good shit. The next one is two females here, Drea de Matteo and Portia de Rossi.
Oh, wow.
Women.
That's not the same person? That is definitely the same
They
person.
look exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
And crazier is that Ellen DeGeneres has sex with her. That's
Yeah. So,
Yo, she could probably pay them both to do them at the same time.
They're the same.
Crazy.
That is
Exactly the
uncanny, as they would say.
Like, what do you do? And you just like walk up to your,
Doppelganger? You're like,
it's like, oh shit! I didn't know. When you're watching, you're flicking through Netflix. You're like, wait, I didn't know I did that movie. You know? Okay, the next one. Let's go. Katy Perry and Zoe Deschanel. My girl swears that they look like.
They do.
Really?
This picture does. In this picture, it does.
This picture. Yeah.
Okay, so guilty. I went and I searched. I liked Katy Perry. I was like, let me see if she has like nudes. Bro, fucking Zoe Deschanel comes out. I'm like,
does.
Oh, that's her. But no, but they both do. They both do.
I
see it.
Zoe Deschanel. That's she's always she's from New Girl, right? And everybody knows Katy Perry. I don't know, bro. You ask me, all y'all whiteys look the same. See, money, white skin, pale face, blue eyes.
That's not racist at all.
Okay, next are two people that I swear are fucking twins. Will Ferrell and Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Come on, bro.
I've never seen these guys next to each other.
Chad Smith is the drummer from obviously the iconic band Red Hot Chili Peppers. He did a drum off.
Yeah,
on
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Campbell.
It's
Jimmy
the
Fallon.
eye.
Jimmy Fallon.
It's the eye. The side, the small length between the eyes are very close together and small.
And they both have those ridges in the forehead, like those fucking bends or whatever. Anyways.
The old people bends.
Old people bends.
The old people. The
If I was them,
Yeah.
if I was Will Ferrell, I would go to like a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert. Like I would like trick the fans and team up with Chad Smith. You go and do this like TV episode. You go host SNL, and I'll go fucking play at your concert.
Yo, for real.
And you ask me.
Will Ferrell actually does play drums. Like he grew up.
He had a
playing
drum
drums.
off.
He had a drum,
against them,
and
yeah.
they actually did play. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It was pretty good. Check that out on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Next is Margot Robbie, my future ex-wife, and Jamie Presley, my ex-wife.
Doesn't she play an ex-wife somewhere?
Margot Robbie is the chick from Suicide Squad. She's Harley Quinn.
Yep.
Jamie Presley's been in a bunch of movies. I think she's in the
This
White
I don't
Chick.
see as much.
No, not that one, but she's been in a bunch of good movies.
Wait, Jamie Presley, isn't she a daughter of the king? No.
No, that's Lisa Marie Presley.
Oh, Lisa Marie. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
this guy.
But yeah, Jamie Presley and Margot Robbie. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't see it.
When she's older, when she's a little older, maybe.
Yeah.
The same nose, maybe.
Want to marry?
Yeah, they have that same bone structure.
The fact that she's my type, which is just blonde, and
a woman,
and the fact that she plays Harley Quinn, which is like my top nerd, like
really good job, dude.
fantasy thing. Yeah, that's just not fair.
Exactly. Okay, so how about these two? Rob Lowe Everybody knows him from Parks and Rec, from fucking the 90s, everything in the 90s, Wayne's World. And who's the other one? And what's this guy's name? Ian Somerhalder. He's from, he's got a show on Netflix where he plays a vampire. It's basically a ripoff. It's a ripoff of Twilight. They have a show.
True Blood.
No, not True Blood.
Not True Blood?
It's it might as well be.
Throwing shit out there.
Natural. Supernatural,
yeah. And bro, it's bro, I swear to God, it's almost a shot for shot, actor for actor ripoff of fucking Twilight. They got a Jake Cullen. They got, except that he, instead of being the wolf guy, he's another vampire. He's a straight up, poor man's Rob Lowe. Sorry, Ian Somerhalder, but
hey, let me take a shot at Rob Lowe. He's another one that could get away with murder, bro. He's got his skeletons in his closet, and he's still popular.
Really?
People love him. Yeah.
Are we breaking shit here on the Podheads?
Hold on, let me take it back because maybe it was a dream. Really? Am I the only one who feels like Rob Lowe's also?
I didn't hear this. Talk to me.
Right, let me do my research.
Okay.
To make sure I'm not, throwing this guy under the bus. But I swear I've heard that Rob Lowe has skeletons in his closet. Okay. I'll find out. I'll break it next show.
These two, Amber Heard and Scarlett Johansson.
Ooh.
I remember seeing Amber Heard. I can't remember what movie it was.
Yeah. I could always tell them apart, though.
But I see her and I'm like, wow, I can't put my finger on it, but she looks so familiar, and it's because she looks just like damn Scarlett Johansson.
I think she's better than Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah.
Pictures are a little nicer, I think, a little smoother on the eyes.
Oh yeah.
Wow. I like Scarlett Johansson. I just love these.
Scarlett Johansson can beat your ass, bro, and that's
Black Widow.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take Black Widow all day. Next, we got Bryce Dallas Howard and Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
You got a chick from Black Mirror, right?
Yeah, Dallas Howard. Yeah, that's not a very flattering picture, by the way, because I think she's super hot.
Oh, yeah.
Being a redhead, Bryce Dallas Howard, she's super hot. But I don't see this similarity other than the redheads.
It's a bad picture, but I think they do look very similar.
But all redheads look the same? What are you saying?
I think it's because Bryce looks a little chunkier in the cheeks.
She's a little bit more cool, right? What do they call it? She's a little bit on
that bone.
No, she's thick, bro. She is thick. Yes. In a good way, though.
Oh, in the right places, too.
In the right places. Absolutely.
Okay, so the next one, of course, and JB, of course, thinks, and America apparently thinks JB looks just like Ice-T.
Take a look at that.
Yeah.
Ice-T.
That's not me.
It's crazy. I mean,
that's totally him.
So I was smiling, and he's me mugging. So there's a little difference in the face, but that's me.
That's pretty crazy.
Okay, I guess trying to do a biopic about Ice-T. We got your guy, right?
Yeah, I was
a younger picture of Ice-T.
Man,
Ice-T is the next Lifetime, character. I'm totally down.
You need like a picture, a 25-year-old Ice-T. Maybe.
He looks like a young Ice-T.
Yes, this was a young Ice-T picture.
Oh, that is 25. Ice-T looks the same his whole life, bro.
He just has a little bit more rigid as well.
What do you guys think? People out there, say yes or no. I mean, I get it all the time. I really do. And I think I do.
You braid your hair. When he does the cornrows, he looks like Ice-T. But it's only when you have the cornrows, in my opinion. I think you look more like this guy. I did a search app against the finest celebrity. I think you look like
That motherfucker. You guys remember the hyena in The Lion King, Ed, with the crooked eye?
He does have a crooked eye. Joe Keith Noah's sisters, though. He is a boy out of a bunch of sisters. They're all beautiful. He's like got all the ugly genes in that family. And I don't think I look anything like him. So I'll take my Ice-T, my doppelganger Ice-T.
I go with Ice-T.
I will take care of your dog. They had a baby a few years back. I had a baby. We can have a play date together. Hit me up, Ice-T, man.
Ice-T, holla at the pie. Hey, K-Strap, what do we got next, man? Are we doing taking a break or we got Burn C Money's High?
I think we're gonna do Burn C Money's High.
Let's find out what pisses off C Money. I love this segment. He finds ways to stress himself out every week, and I like it. Let's get his blood pressure up a little bit. What you got?
Before we get my blood pressure up, we're gonna calm down a little bit here. You know what's funny too about this time is that I had planned something literally up until about 6:30 tonight, and I changed it immediately. And the funny thing is that we have a little gaming segment coming out too that's gonna debut here from K-Strat, if I'm not mistaken, later this episode. And we're all gamers here, the four of us. We've all played competitively at some point in terms of just online, and we get into it. I think every single one of us is competitive too. So what I'm getting at is something that burns my high is when you're playing a game that you're relatively good at, if you can be so bold, and you're playing with people that either purposely join the game to sabotage it and just fuck around and talk shit and just throw the match, or you're playing with people on the other team that sit there and talk shit to you even though you're playing pro as fuck, but because your team is shit, you still get shit talk because you're losing, so it doesn't matter, right? Dude, there are times where I just want to, do you guys remember this scene from Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby where he goes through the phone and just, chokes?
Oh my god, yeah, that's hilarious.
There are times when I want to do that through the headset or the TV sometimes to some of these kids, and it's just something that totally makes me need to remedicate because, video games to me are very relaxing, very, there are times where I want to play something competitive, and I just can't do it anymore, dude. I'm almost 30 years old now, and I get my ass kicked by the 14-year-olds now. And I remember the days when I was in high school and I would whoop the 30-year-old ass kids. And just I'm playing Red Dead or something, and the game has so much violence and shit, dude, and I'm hearing this, "Hi, how are you?" Crazy, bro. I remember I would work at GameStop, years and years ago when I was 18, and I would tell, this was when, I don't know, when L.A. Noire and these kind of games came out. And I would tell, the parents, I'd be like, this has, a lot of violence, intense violence. And they'd be like, oh, my son's 10, it'll be alright. I'm like, you know what I mean? But yeah, dude, totally burns my high. It burned my high today. I was playing a game that was kind of like League of Legends or something like that type of game. And, oh, man, you need a team. And if you don't have actual people you fucked, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I've said, and I take back some of the things I've said, but I've said some horrible things to these people on the And I just want to know if you fellow podcast goers here can decipher with me. I've ever had a little bit of nerd rage where you just lose your shit because of other people.
No, bro, that's why I smoke. I mean, that's why I smoke playing video games, because it kills that edge. Those pro competitive games like League, like Fortnite, it's cancer. Those games are cancer. If you take it too seriously, it will ruin your life.
Yeah, bro,
So smoke up and play the video game, enjoy it for what it is. Fuck these little tard kids, who ruined the game for us. But that's why you smoke. So to your point, I totally get you, and it's cancer. I 100% agree. But that's why we smoke, bro.
That's why we smoke. So I smoke, and we play RPGs. Fuck this online multiplayer.
Yes.
RPGs, yeah.
I'd rather just get immersed in, just
smoke world.
Get immersed into this, world and do my thing. I stopped playing online multiplayer like Call of Duty. I'll do zombies with my kid and some other, friends and stuff online. But as far as just competitive, fucking first-person shooters. Come on, bro. Fortnite, fuck you. All you Fortnite games. Fuck you all. I don't think I've gotten a single kill, bro.
I'm terrible.
My kids tried to make me play with him, and I'm like, wait, it's bad enough I gotta shoot. Every man for himself. You want me to build shit, too? Motherfucker, you want me to build a house, a fucking stairway to heaven, and fucking snipe you.
And it's funny though because Simone, it's true though. You jump into the lobby and then sometimes you'll go squad. Sometimes you go squad and you just hear a bunch of small little Nino voices, kids voices, and you're just like, come on, man. I want to play with adults that know how to Although playing with adults sometimes the kids still kill us, so it's just nuts.
They're better than you, man.
Yeah,
that's just the truth.
That's what it comes down to. But Cool.
So that's what burns your high, see money, huh?
That burns my eye, man. I can't. I just, like I said, like their games are supposed to be relaxing for me. It's supposed to be fun, like you said, getting immersed, whatever. And for me, it's just like any game, dude. Any game that you play competitively or try to, or not. I shouldn't even use that word. Just try to go online and say, oh, let me go see what the fuck this is like. It's just like
cancer, bro. It's the wasteland. The internet. Online is the wasteland. Oh, yeah. It's no fun.
Stay away from the masses, bro.
Yep.
Stay away from the peanut gallery, guys. Instead of playing online, wasting your time getting killed on Fortnite or crossed over on 2K, just tune into the Podheads. We actually have gamers of ourselves. If you like to watch Twitch or any of that shit, K-Strad's got his own freaking Twitch channel. And matter of fact, he's gonna break us down with some reviews for some pretty awesome games, right?
Yes,
Talk to us, K-Strad.
All right, cool. So this is my first segment. Thank you guys for sticking with us, and I do have my Twitch. You guys can follow me at twitch.tv/tank25. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the top best upcoming PS4 games for 2019. I was looking through these and they just look amazing. I mean, I've seen a couple of these and I've played the first series or the first game of it, and now when they're coming with the sequel, I mean, it's just amazing. So let's just get with it. So first off, we have Days Gone at number 5. This will be released on April 26th of this year, and Days Gone is an action adventure survival horror game set in a post-apocalyptic open world. You're played in a third-player perspective. The player controls a Deacon St. John St. Witter, a former outlaw turned drifter and bounty hunter who prefers life on the road to wilderness encampments. I mean, this game is amazing. The player can complete objectives in multiple ways, such as by using stealth or long and short range weapons. I mean, you have a dynamic weather system, a day and night cycle. I mean, as the nights progresses, it actually gets the freakers, which is like zombies, to walk either slow or fast. So the day and night does have a huge effect on that. But you will be able to use vehicles, motorbikes, and to be able to explore. And you're also able to craft items, which is pretty cool to improve your weapon efficiency. But man, the graphics look amazing. People have been already waiting for this game for quite a bit. But yeah, moving on to number 4, we got Death Stranding. This game is pretty cool action open world environment, which also includes multiplayer functions. According to Kojima, one of the key aspects of the announcement trailer was the idea of the connection between life and death. He explained one of the main themes through a short story by Kabu Abe. The first tool created by humans was a stick meant as a protection by putting a distance between oneself and bad things, and that second one was a rope. I mean, oh my god. And then plus you also have well-known faces like Retus Formley, which is played in the character. You probably remember him from Walking Dead. But yeah, the graphics on this just looks amazing. I mean, I can't wait to see what holds up for the gameplay and the fluidity of it. But I mean, it's just awesome. So yeah. But Kojima suggests that when the player returns to the world of the living, anything that did or any damage to that explosion causes death. But Death Stranding, yeah, it's amazing. So coming in number 3, we got Metro Exodus. This releases February of 15th, which is only a month away. But everybody probably remembers from the series, Deep Silver has been putting these game series based on the Dmitry Golovsky's novels, and it's set to follow the Metro 23, which you guys probably remember from PS3, and then Metro Last Light, which was on PS4. But Metro Exodus is a first-person shooter game with a survival horror and stealth elements. It's set in the post-apocalyptic wasteland of the former Russian Federation. The player must cope with the new hazards and engage in combat against mutated creatures as well as hostile hostile humans. The player wields an arsenal of hand-made weaponry, which can be customized through scavenging materials and crafting system. The game features a mixture of linear levels and sandbox environment. It also includes a dynamic weather system, a day and night cycle, and environments that change along with the seasons as the story progresses. I mean, it will be set over a whole game year course, but I mean the zombies and just the gameplay, the fluidity, the first person action just looks so great. I mean, you're going to be fighting huge fishes, huge bats. You're going to be able to fly and get taken. I mean, it is amazing. Just the I can't wait to see how it's going to look on the PS4 Pro. And this is also just going to be, PS4 enhanced, so PS4 Pro enhanced. So if you have that 4K TV, you want to get the best graphics out of this, I mean, I definitely recommend that. But yeah, it should be launching February 15th. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I already pre-ordered the copy. You definitely have to do it too. And I'll definitely be streaming this. So as soon as you guys if you do follow me, I'll be streaming this on my Twitch. But Metro Exodus, awesome game. So coming in at number 2, everybody's always been waiting for this game. I mean, Last of Us Chapter 2 coming June or July of this year, but it's still to be announced on the exact date. But The Last of Us Part 2 is upcoming single multiplayer action adventure game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for PlayStation 4 exclusive only. It is a sequel to 2013's The Last of Us, which also was released for PS3. It's set 5 years after. This one is actually set 5 years after The Last of Us. The player controls an older Ellie who comes into conflict with a mysterious cult in a post-apocalyptic United States. I mean, it looks gnarly. The Last of Us Part 2 was announced actually at the PlayStation Experience event on December 3rd of 2016. So it's been on the works for quite a bit. And then the second trailer was released on October 30th, 2017, which is this one that you're viewing now, at Parents Games Week. It revealed 4 new characters: Yara, which is played by Victoria Grace, Lev, which is played by Ian Alexander, and Emily, which is Emily Swallow, and an unarmed character played by Laura Bailey. Duckman stated that the characters are integral to Ellie and Joel's next journey. The game was featured at Sony's E3 event on June 11th, 2018. But, I mean, this game has been winning awards even before it's been out. In January 2017, PlayStation Blog awarded The Last of Us Part 2 a Most Anticipated Game of the Year. And then later on, it won a Most Wanted Game of 2017, Golden Joystick Awards, and then most anticipated at the Game Awards on July 2nd of 2018. I mean, it has revealed a commendation for graphics and sound at the Game Critics as well. So, I mean, I just can't wait for this game to come out. Everybody's such in anticipation. We still, like I said, don't know a release date. They have been pushing it back just because they're trying to get, all the beta testing and everything polished out, so that way when it does release, it does have that good fluidity and that awesome control. But everybody remembers, from the first series, how you could, build weapons and fight zombies and, just kind of get immersed into the scenario of the post-apocalyptic world. But yes, I can't wait to see what The Last of Us 2 will bring to us. And like I said, it has won so many awards, and it's probably going to win some more. But I really hope that they do not push it back anymore, just because, everybody's just waiting for this game. But yeah, I mean, you can see Ellie looks a little older now. She's looked like she's picked up some, some company, and oh my God, this game will look dope. I can't wait. And it's also PlayStation exclusive, so you'll get the 4K PS4 Pro compatibility. But yeah, this is my number 2 pick at Last of Us 2. Ooh, that's just brings chills to my bones. And then of course, at my number 1 pick, the drum roll, Ghost of Tsushima. Coming end of 2019, early 2020. Again, this one is also to be announced, but Ghost of Tsushima is an upcoming adventure game, video game developed by Sucker Punch Productions and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for the PlayStation 4, featuring an open world for players to explore. In this, it's set in 1274 of Tsushima Island. The game revolves around the last samurai Jin Sakai during the first Mongol invasion of Japan. Jin will have to master a new fighting style, the way of the ghost, to defeat the Mongol forces and fight for freedom and the independence of Japan. Ghost of Tsushima is an action-adventure stealth game and is played in third-person perspective. The game features a large open world which can be freely explored. The game will not feature any waypoints and can be explored without guidance. Players can travel to different parts of the game's world too quickly by riding a horse. An item that acts as a grappling hook will be available to access areas that are difficult to reach. The game will feature side quests other characters can be interacted with. So yeah, I mean, the graphics on this game, it looks amazing. You can see the detail in everything. It's so crisp. This has a lot of, well, not a lot of similarity, but it is going to have that fluidity of Assassin's Creed, to where you have that sword, you have those, fighting scenes, but just having that other scenario of being in Japan, fighting for that independence using that stealth. I mean, oh my god. And then this last scene is where it really got me. It showed actually a little bit of gameplay, and oh my god, it's just amazing. But you'll see it here now. It's just a little cutscene, and yes, oh, chills again. But again, thank you for watching. That concludes the top 5 best upcoming PS4 games for 2019. Stay tuned. Hopefully, you can go on and subscribe to my Tank25 Twitch channel that we can check out. Check me out messing up and stuff like that, but just like I am now. But anyways, going back to the Cypher with the Podheads. Thank you guys for watching. And we're back.
I mean,
awesome job.
Going on, like you said, games were dangerous, and then all this shit comes out, right?
Oh, but, that one in like feudal Japan, I saw a trailer for that today, and just watching it right now. I mean, look, I'm fucking, my shit's falling my fucking mind over here.
The reason I'm out on that game is because I heard it's a lot like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and fuck that. Fuck those kinds of games. I'm out.
I'll give it. No. Wait. Is that the one where it's just like a bunch of like emperor, like a whole army versus army? Just running? Well, yeah. I don't think it's like that. I think this is like a Red Dead Redemption in ancient Japan,
exactly.
Basically.
So this is gonna be, you're gonna be like kind of like the example that I made with Assassin's Creed. So you kind of just go around. You're stealthy. You gotta fight a bunch of samurais. But the fighting scenes is just gonna be outrageous. I mean, there hasn't been too much release on gameplay just because it's still being developed. But this game's been like being developed since like I think it's 2016. So
that's awesome.
They got a lot to polish up and should be coming out soon.
Well, I will say this: K-Strap, very good job, well prepared, awesome segment. I'm loving it. Looking forward to another one. He said he's got a Twitch guy, so look for that. And matter of fact, we're going to be growing. The Podheads web show is going to be growing to the channel is going to be growing to like a network, Podheads Network, and we're going to be having different channels, and K-Strat's going to put all his Twitch feeds on there, so stay tuned, check out that playlist really quick. Let's move forward, guys. This guy K-Strat's got skills, skills
bro.
Yeah, that are very important moving into the year 2019. And that's what this next segment of higher learning is all about, guys. I'm all about higher learning, right? You know what higher learning is? It can be trivia, it can be other games, it can be dang what you think, but ultimately, it's all about learning. I like to school, I like to spread knowledge. I'm always looking for it, and so I want to instill some of that knowledge on you guys. So, What do you guys think? Before we get into these, this is a list according to LinkedIn. If you want to kind of check out who did the research here, but according to LinkedIn, there's a list of the 5 most in-demand soft skills of 2019. Now these are like intangibles, okay, and the 5 most in-demand hard skills. This is like actual things that you can do on a computer or whatever. I kind of gave you a hint there. So what do you guys think? Let's go with the hard skills first, okay? Let's see if you guys can name any one of the 5 of the hard skills in demand for 2019.
Okay, do we have to get the title exactly correct? If I give you an industry, you probably give us the bonus.
You gotta give me something. You can't just say like a computer programmer anymore.
Gotcha. My first guess is gonna be renewable energy technician or something like that.
Renewable energy.
Solar powered, wind powered, nothing like that.
I'm sorry, it's not on the top 5. Trump's in office right now. And for the next 2 years, he doesn't give a shit about renewable energy. That guy's never worn the same pair of underwear. So
good point.
Okay. What about you, C-Money? K-Strat, you guys have any guesses to what you think?
I consider myself a pretty intelligent individual, and I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. None.
Job skills. We're talking about in-demand job skills in the job market.
I would think probably like software development, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of.
Okay, so coding.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I'll give them to you. Cloud computing is number 1. Followed by that, cloud computing, that's putting everything on the cloud. Yeah. Then you have artificial intelligence.
There you
go.
Analytical reasoning. And then people management, which I think that was an important one. Today, social media and technology is changing social customs and norms.
So you have to kind of figure out how to manage that, huh? Yeah. The people management.
It's funny, though, because just kind of basing off of that, within my company, I work for a marketing company, and that company's been out for 15, 20 years already, so they still have the norms and the system of those old ways. So now what happened was that there's this other new company that's more modern and more advanced and started kind of pick up on Facebook and using all those sources, which is a little bit easier to use through an application. And all the clients that were I'm talking about like top clients, Samsung, Oculus, just top consumer electronics, they're switching over, to that new company that's more advanced, that's more modern, that has all those, easy to use tools. That's like,
change, man.
Well, change is a big thing, and that leads me to the next thing, the soft skills. You have to be able to have your shit screwed on tight in today's marketplace. So what do you guys think are some of the soft skills that you need, the intangibles that you need in the marketplace in 2019?
I would say people communication skills, because you got to be able to kind of talk to people and engage with them and kind of market yourself.
Collaboration, number 3, that's on there. Working with others.
Okay.
Very good.
Cool. Collaboration.
Ingenuity. I think I'll call that creativity. That's the one skill that you need to have is creativity.
How about like negotiations? Salesman.
Persuasion. Hey, we got a couple of geniuses on here.
Oh, damn.
You guys have been listening. Finally, higher learning is paying off. But that's it. The other 2 are adaptability and time management. You mentioned that, Frank. K-Strat, you mentioned that. Adaptability. You got to be able to change with technology and today's fast-paced world, especially in the job marketplace. Things are always fucking changing. Even if you're a fucking smoker, you need to be able to keep up. So be willing to change and be better with that time management. Everyone knows. That's the last one, guys. Everyone knows that when you smoke, fucking 2 hours go by and it feels like it's been like 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
So be better with time management. That's a big one for me. I think that is one of the most challenging things for some people, especially fucking brown folks, Puerto Ricans. So time management, guys. Things for 2019. Fucking write down the list. Jot that shit down. I'll learn you something. And then let me know how these things work for you. If you guys agree or disagree with these skills, you think that there's any skills that should be on this list, let us know. And guys, that's higher learning. That's about it. I mean, look for us all over social media. Talk about this show. We're on YouTube. Comment. Let us know what you think about what we're talking about. Give us your 2 cents. We'll always respond. I'm fucking Podhead Frank on all social media, Instagram, all that shit. I'll pass it to JB.
Yeah. Podheads JB on all social media platforms. I am on all social media platforms, but hit me up on IG. That's my pet project for 2019. I'm trying to do a post a day, kind of get into social media. I'm kind of finally giving in, guys. We've talked about it. The world is changing. Adaptability. You have to be able to adapt to the marketplace, to the trends, to be able to succeed. So that's what I'm doing. So find me on IG, Podheads JB. Comment. You're on YouTube, so make sure you're definitely subscribing. And word of mouth. If you enjoy what you see, tell your family, tell your friends. We need all the love we can get. Thank you for sticking with us, baby. Yeah.
See money. What you got?
And thank you, everybody. This is Making C Money at Making C Money on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you for joining us in the Cypher, the Podheads at the Podheads Web Show with my best buds here. It was a good show. Always a pleasure to bring to you the best of what burns my high. Watch out for those trolls out there on the internet playing those games, guys. But seriously, thank you for sticking with us. Sorry, it's late. I'm baked. We all got to start a new week tomorrow. Good luck, everybody out there starting a new week. It's Monday. Strength to everybody out there, all our fans. Love you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has been a great one. It's always a great one. Thanks to the man behind the scenes, K-Strat over here.
Yeah, boy. Thank you. I really appreciate being part of this show. It's been, amazing to kind of, let it kind of grow and see it evolve and stuff. So there's definitely a lot of fun stuff coming at you in the future shows. So if you want to follow me at KStratB on Instagram, also at Tank25 on Twitch. But once again, keep your tacos safe at all times and always be tacoing. But yeah, back to you to close it out, Frank.
Yes, sir, guys. It's always a pleasure in the Cypher with my best buds. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing some love. We love you guys. Keep tuning in. Let us know what you want to hear. We'll keep up. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. We're all over the place. Tune into the Podheads Network. Guys, we're out. It's the show. It's around the Podheads.
Peace, dog.
God damn. It's so fucking
Just know when you kill the stream.
Sorry.
Yeah.